Okay, yesterday we finished off with chapter number 7, that is human nutrition. Okay, today we'll start off with the topic of transport and animals. All right, so let's start chapter number 9, transport and animals. This is also a long chapter. I suppose it will take 2 classes. All right, so we are starting off with chapter number 9, transport and animals. Chapter 9. Transport and animals. All right. So firstly, we need to discuss the fact that why do we need transport system in the first place? Okay. Why can't we just live off without transport? Okay. Why do we need it? So what do you guys think? Why do we need transport? A system of transport. Yes. One by one. Yes, Ad. Why do you think we need a system of transport?
To transport blood.
Okay. Good. Umar.
We can use transport for getting food for nutrition.
Okay. Great. Abdul Basit.
Yes, our body needs nutrients, so
Hmm.
transport is used to transport nutrients all over the body.
Very good. So all of you are right. So the crux of whatever all of you said was that basically, we have the required substances in our body. Like for example, our lungs inhaled the air. We have now oxygen. Now that oxygen is only in our lungs. How will it move to all parts of the body? By transport. Like Saad said, we need to transport the blood as well. Right, so these all of these substances that we need in our body are dissolved in the blood and then moved across the body. Right. For example, we are eating food, it goes to our stomach, and then all of it is in the small intestine from where it is absorbed. Do you think if it was not absorbed, it would be able to transport it all across the body? Right. The point is we get our required substance, our required nutrient, oxygen, carbon dioxide, whatever, at one specific point. Right? Whatever its target organ is, we get it over there. Then it's the job of transport system to transport it to all parts of the body. Otherwise, see, only the stomach, the GIT, the gastrointestinal system will only get food, lungs will only get oxygen, heart will only have the blood. Do you think this way body can work? Yes. Do you think it can work this way?
No, ma'am.
Good. We cannot work this way, right? So that is why we need a proper transport system. Okay. So transport is needed. Transport, sorry, is needed for movement of substances. And the substances include oxygen, nutrients, carbon dioxide, urea. Okay, and this movement of substances is important. Why? Because oxygen nutrients are needed for respiration in the cells, and waste products need to be removed, otherwise they will build up in the body. Okay. Now, blood acts as the transport medium. And transports all of the substances in the body. Okay. So blood is pumped by the heart through arteries and it is through the heart by our veins. And valves are present in the heart and in the veins as well, as they basically ensure one directional flow of blood, unidirectional flow of blood. So if I talk about the pathway of blood, very simply in a rough diagram. So this is your heart, let's say. We look at a good diagram as well in a few minutes. It transports blood through a major artery, aorta. Aorta then branches off to some arteries, for example, renal artery. Okay. And then these arteries further divide into arterioles. Okay. Then these divide into capillaries. From capillaries, obviously, exchange of material takes place. So you have venules, and then I have veins, and then I have your vena cava that includes both superior and inferior, and then I have this deoxygenated blood returning back to the heart. Okay. And obviously, as it's coming this way, like from your heart to your arterioles, your pressure will decrease over time gradually. And when you're traveling this way, obviously pressure increases. It's not that much, obviously, but obviously it has to have some sort of pressure so that it can actually reach back up to the heart. Okay. This has your oxygenated blood. This has your deoxygenated blood. Is this clear? Now, obviously, going back up, your pressure increases because the blood needs to reach the heart. Okay, is this clear? Is clear? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
We need to memorize this, right?
Yes. So this is simple. Okay, this is a straightforward pathway. Okay. Simple. Heart, then goes to aorta, the major artery, and then to arteries, then arterioles, then capillaries, and then exchange of material takes place, then venules, veins, and then your vena cava. All right, and then back to the heart. Is this clear, sir?
Clear.
Okay, good. Now, if I talk about the types of circulation, so you have two types of circulation: single and double. Single circulation basically is in your fish, okay, not in large organisms. All right. Basically, they have one heart, atrium, and ventricle, and they send blood to the gills to get oxygenated, and blood then flows to all parts of the body before returning back to the heart. Okay, so directly from your gas exchange organ, directly from there, blood goes to all parts of your body. All right. Like in animals, what happens? From a gas exchange organ, it comes back to the heart and then it moves to the body, right? Alhamdulillah. Right? But in single circulation, this does not happen. Directly from the gills, it goes to all parts of your body. Focus on single circulation. Blood flows through once, right? Directly from your heart to your gills, and from your gills to entire of your body. Okay, so blood flows through your heart once. Through the heart once. From the heart, it will go to your gills where it will, take the oxygen and then will go to all parts of your body. Okay, and this takes place in your fish. Okay, blood flows to all parts of the body from the lungs directly. But this is just the key point I'm telling you to remember. To all parts of the body. Directly from the gills. Double circulation. Blood flows through the heart twice. Okay, your blood flows through the heart. One second. Okay, I have a question. This chart. Fish are the only organisms which have single circulation. No, reptiles also have it. Some invertebrates, amphibians also have it. Okay, I'm giving an example. Okay, hard fish only has two chambers, an atrium and a ventricle. Okay, so birds, fish, reptiles, there are many ones. Okay, I've just given an example. Okay, all right. Some amphibians also have single, some have double. Like for example, frogs have double. Okay, it depends. It's variable. Okay. All right. So I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, blood passes through the heart twice, or flows through the heart twice. Through the heart twice. Okay. And this twice basically includes one time it flows, or you can say it passes through the lungs. That is basically called pulmonary circulation. Second time it flows through your body. Obviously, that is your systemic circulation. So this is the two parts of double circulation. One is your pulmonary circulation. I would say two parts, or two components of double circulation system. One is pulmonary circulation. Second is your systemic circulation. Okay. Blood flows through the lungs. Passes through lungs. And blood flows through the, or passes through the body. Okay. Right. Now if I talk about your heart. Okay. So heart pumps blood through the circulatory system to all major organs of the body. Okay. This is your heart. Okay, great. Look at this. This is a very, nice diagram of the heart. Okay, let me just make some additions to it. Okay. This is your. I'm just labeling it. I'll explain it. Okay, this is your bicuspid valve. It's also called the mitral valve. Okay. This is your tricuspid valve. Okay. And these are collectively called your atrioventricular valves. Atrioventricular valves. I love, are you late?
Miss, I was having internet issues.
All right. Okay. These two are your semilunar valves. Okay, one is in your pulmonary artery, other is in your aorta. This is your aortic valve, this is your pulmonary valve, and these are collectively called as a semilunar valve. Aortic valve, and this is your pulmonary valve. I'll explain them, okay, don't worry. Pulmonary, where should I write it? Collectively, they are called as a semilunar valve. Okay. Now, like I just told you, that heart pumps blood through the circulatory system to all major arteries of the body. Okay. Upper thin walled chambers are called your atria. Collectively, they are called as atria. Plural is atria. Singular, when you will say, so it's left atrium and right atrium. Clear? Now stay with me quickly. Okay. Is this clear?
Clear.
Clear.
Okay. Yes, I am saying that upper thin walled chambers are called atria. Okay, plural is atria. When you will talk about it singularly, you will say atrium. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now each of these atria open into thick walled chambers that are called ventricles. Can you see this? Right ventricle and left ventricle. Right atrium, left atrium, and they open into right ventricle and left ventricle. Clear? Left
Yes.
atrium. Okay. Left chambers are separated from the right chambers by a wall of muscle that is called septum. This thick part. You see this? This is your septum. This is doing what? It is separating your left side and the right side. It's basically separating your deoxygenated blood from your oxygenated blood. Done? Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the pathway of blood. Very important. Now, see, you have two vena cava, inferior and superior, right? Can you see this? Inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Right? Blood will enter the right atrium. Now, I'm talking about when deoxygenated blood is entering, coming from your body, and now it will enter your right atrium. Is this clear?
Yes.
So blood enters the atria from the large vein, superior and inferior vena cava. Okay. So basically, vena cava are bringing deoxygenated blood from the body tissues into the right atrium. Are you guys following? Inferior vena cava is bringing your blood from your bottom regions. Okay. Superior vena cava is bringing blood from your head and shoulder region. Is this clear?
Yes.
Clear.
Head and neck region. Okay, it's not shoulder, sorry. It's head and neck region. So deoxygenated blood is coming from these two vena cava into your right atrium. Okay. And on the other hand, now you need to understand this, that both sides of the heart are working simultaneously. Is this clear? Now, if I'm saying that on the right side, your superior and inferior vena cava are bringing deoxygenated blood into your right atrium, then at the same time, on your left side, pulmonary vein, where is it? Yeah, these and these. Okay, pulmonary veins. This is also pulmonary vein. Okay, don't think it's pulmonary artery. You remember, right? Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. Remember? Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. Okay, it's opposite. All the arteries carry oxygenated blood, right? Except for pulmonary artery and umbilical artery. Okay. Similarly, all veins carry deoxygenated blood except for pulmonary vein and umbilical vein. Is this clear?
Miss, what's umbilical vein?
Umbilical is basically, we will do this in the reproduction chapter. It's when your mother is, when the baby is attached to the mother, okay, using the umbilical cord, okay, with the placenta, okay. So you have two arteries and one vein, two umbilical arteries and one umbilical vein, as far as I remember. Yeah, so basically those arteries and veins and this pulmonary artery and vein carries, they have reverse roles. So remember, pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. Okay, see, they're shown with red as well. So at this time, when your deoxygenated blood is entering your right atrium through your superior and inferior vena cava, at the same time, pulmonary vein is bringing oxygenated blood from the lungs into the left atrium. Is this clear? Tell me if it's not clear, I'll repeat.
The oxygenated blood comes towards the left atrium.
Yes. See, it's red, right? So red is showing you oxygenated blood. And not even learned by colors. Just remember, it's coming from the lungs into the left atrium. Okay, left side is the oxygenated side, right? So oxygenated blood is coming from the pulmonary vein, from the lungs, obviously, pulmonary suggests lungs, into your left atrium. Yes. Anyone else? Any questions? Is anyone asking something? Any questions?
Oh,
Okay, rest of you. Ayla, Ahmed, Abdul Basit, Umar, any questions?
no questions.
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. So we have now talked about filling of your right atrium and left atrium. Done. Right? Because I told you that both sides are working simultaneously. Okay, right and left side. When we are teaching, usually, teachers usually teach you like once, from right side is done and then things are happening the left side. Okay, this is not the case in actual. Okay, basically both sides are working simultaneously. All right.
Miss,
Now, yes, sir.
from the pulmonary veins in both left and right, the oxygenated blood is coming.
Wait, from pulmonary vein in both right and left. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you label both of the sides pulmonary veins.
You see, this is how your heart is. Okay, it's only going in the left atrium. Okay, it's just the back of the heart. Okay, you cannot see the entire vein. It's just one. Okay, it's like one tube.
Like, I don't understand. Does it enter the right or the left atrium?
It's entering the left atrium. I told you it's getting oxygenated blood, so it will enter the left atrium. Right atrium, I told you they are getting deoxygenated blood from your superior and inferior vena cava.
Okay, so from the lungs to the heart, they enter the left atrium.
Yes, oxygenated blood will always enter the left side. We don't get confused by these tubes. Point is that they are showing, these are basically the back of the heart. Now you cannot see the complete diagram, obviously, right? So they are basically entering the left side. Okay, it's just one single tube. There's two openings. Okay, it's basically it's diagrammatic, right? So I cannot actually show you how it is, right? Just remember, pulmonary vein brings your oxygenated blood from your lungs to the left side of the heart, left atrium. Yes. Anyone else any questions? Please be okay with this. You need to be comfortable with the heart. Claire, should I move on? Now I have blood on both sides. I have deoxygenated blood in my right atrium and I have oxygenated blood in my left atrium. Clear?
Clear.
Clear.
Okay. Now blood is passing from each atrium to its corresponding ventricle. Okay, can you see? From right atrium, it will reach enter your right. From right atrium, it will reach. It will enter your right ventricle. You have a tricuspid valve in between. This is your atrioventricular valve. Now, see, as the name suggests, atrioventricular. Don't you think it means the valve between atrium and the ventricle? That's why it's called atrioventricular. Okay, so the valve between atrium and the ventricle, it's called your atrioventricular valve. On the left side, it has 3 cusps, so it's called tricuspid. On the right side, it has 2 cusps, so it's called the bicuspid valve. Okay. So now blood has respectively entered my left and right ventricle. Clear?
Ma'am, why
Left
is it called tricuspid
Cuspid.
valve?
Cuspid, because it has 3 cusps. Okay, it basically has a cusp shape. I'll show you the valve, 1 second. Yes, well, meanwhile, ask your question. Meanwhile, I'll copy a diagram of the cusp valves. Yes.
Next to the right atrium, you've like mentioned pulmonary vein. I don't understand from where this is coming from.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
It's the same vein. It's the same vein. These are bringing your blood into your left atrium.
So how is it entering the right?
But it is not emptying in the right, it's only emptying in the left. This blood, this is not going over here. It's not going over here.
Okay.
Ignore this. This is also a pulmonary vein. This is also a pulmonary vein. Okay, these are coming from the lungs. Okay, don't confuse. This is not entering over here. Okay. Alright, let me just copy a diagram of the valves and I'll show you bicuspid and tricuspid. Okay, yes. This is a good one. This is easy as well. God. Okay, Omar, see. Okay, look at this. This is, can you see 3 portions, 3 cusps? Can you see 1, 2, 3? Over here, you only have 2. This is why it's called tricuspid and bicuspid. Okay, Omar?
Okay, ma'am.
So, right side has tricuspid valves, left side has bicuspid valves. Is this clear? Now I told you that blood has reached my ventricles respectively. Done up till this point? I have deoxygenated blood in my right ventricle and I have oxygenated blood in my left ventricle. Done?
Is there a special reason for
Yes, guys,
having
done. Clear,
a
any questions?
tricuspid valve in the right atrioventriculum, cuspid valve in the left atrioventriculum?
Yes. Yes, I'll come on that. Okay, fine. Very good question. See, you guys know oxygenated blood, when it's coming from the aorta, it has a lot of pressure, right? Yes or no, Saad?
Yes.
Okay, great. And blood that is coming from lungs, do you think will it be of high pressure?
No.
No, right? Because see, lungs and heart are not that far, okay? And lungs don't have that much power to, push blood with that much pressure. Okay. Now, on the other hand, this is why, lungs cannot push blood with that much power. This is why you have bicuspid, 2 cusps on your left side. Okay. Coming to right side. Now, despite the fact that your right side has deoxygenated blood, which is coming from all of your body and it is traveling against gravity. Do you guys agree? If your blood is coming from your feet, okay, don't you think it's traveling against gravity? Right? Because it has to come to the heart, right?
Yes.
So there are valves to ensure this, that blood is flowing in this direction. Point is that blood is coming from all of the body. Like all of the deoxygenated blood is entering your right atrium. Do you think that will be of more pressure or the blood coming from lungs will be at more pressure? Yes, sir.
Blood coming from the body.
Exactly. This is why you have three cusps to withhold the pressure on your right side. And that's why you have two cusps on your left side. Clear?
Clear. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Now, I think everyone's on this point that now we have oxygenated blood in your left ventricle and deoxygenated blood on your right ventricle. Right? I hope everyone's clear with this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, yes.
I just want to like make sure. So like the
Mm.
blood from superior or inferior vena cava comes in the right atrium, right? And
Yes.
it just stays there while in from the lungs to the heart it enters the left atrium. So both of them are just there.
Yes. Lungs
Okay.
to the heart in left atrium, and that is your oxygenated blood, okay? Through pulmonary vein.
Yeah.
Okay? Now. Okay, great. Yes, that's all. That's right. Okay. Now, we'll take one blood at one time, okay? So let's take oxygenated blood right now. Since it is oxygenated, it just came from the lungs. Now it will travel through this aortic valve, okay, through your aorta and will move to all parts of the body. So from your left ventricle, it will move through the aorta and to all parts of your body. Whereas your deoxygenated blood will travel through your pulmonary artery. Remember, pulmonary artery, okay? Pulmonary artery which contains deoxygenated blood and it will move to the lungs. So what is happening? Oxygenated blood from your left ventricle will travel through the aorta to all parts of your body. Deoxygenated blood from your right ventricle will move through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. It's very simple. Deoxygenated blood from your body is entering your right atrium through your superior and inferior vena cava. At the same time, oxygenated blood is entering your left atrium from your lungs through your pulmonary vein. Both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in your left and right atrium respectively enter their ventricles, which is left and right ventricle. And the valves present over there are your AV valves. It's bicuspid valve on your between your left atrium and left ventricle, tricuspid valve between your right atrium and your right ventricle. Then your oxygenated blood via your aorta moves to all parts of your body through your left ventricle. Your deoxygenated blood moves to the lungs via the pulmonary artery from your right ventricle. And there are semilunar valves present in in both aorta and pulmonary artery. Yes. Any questions?
Clear.
I have this written 1 second. Let me just copy it. Yes. Rest of your questions. Yes. Ask so that I know you guys understand. Yes. Zoya, Umar, Ayla, Ahmad, Abdul Basit. Okay. Rest of you.
I understand.
Is everything clear?
Yes, miss.
Let me just paste this and then I'll show you. Okay, here. Look at this. This is what I have explained you now. Right now. The blood enters the atria from the large vein, superior inferior vena cava. It brings deoxygenated blood from the body tissue into right atrium. Pulmonary vein, on the other hand, brings oxygenated blood from the lungs into left atrium. Blood passes from each atrium into corresponding ventricle, and ventricle then pumps it out into the arteries. Okay, there's an artery carrying oxygenated blood into the body from left ventricle is aorta, and pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Okay. This function of valves is to prevent backflow of blood during or after contraction, and these walls of atria are contracting first to force the blood into the ventricles. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, great.
Next,
Please
can you
note this
show
down
the
quickly. Yes. Diagram?
no, not the diagram. What is written underneath it? I'll take a screenshot.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Quickly note this down. Um, let me know when to scroll down, and then we're gonna move on and discuss further things. We'll talk about measuring the activity of the heart. Here.
Next,
Yes, sir.
is it because of the pressure one side of the heart is big and the other side is small?
Other side is small. What do you mean by that?
The left side of the heart is smaller than the right.
And why do you think is that?
Yeah, I'm asking, is it because of the pressure?
Pressure has nothing to do with the size. Left side, you said it's smaller or larger?
The left, yeah, the left side is smaller.
Left side is larger. Okay,
So,
and that is because left ventricle needs to pump more blood to all of the body. Okay, and right ventricle only pumps blood to the lungs. Okay, left ventricle is basically bigger. It has more thick muscles because it has to pump the blood with more pressure. Okay,
okay, yeah,
it's not smaller, it's larger. Not pressure exactly, I would say, but it has to pump the blood with more force. Okay, because it has to pump through the aorta to all parts of your body. Right, sir?
okay, yes,
Should I scroll down? Are you guys done?
yes.
Okay, moving down then. Here. Okay, I've scrolled down now. Alright, done.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm done.
Okay, rest of you. Ahmad, is everything clear? You haven't said anything. Ayla.
Yes, miss, everything's clear.
Okay, alright, Ahmad. Okay. Alright, so I think everyone's done. Let's move on. Let's talk about measuring the activity of the heart. Okay.
Miss, could you please
Yes.
zoom in the diagram?
Sorry, will they?
Could you zoom in of the diagram
Yeah.
of the heart?
Okay, sure. Sure. This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Take a picture.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, we're talking about measuring the activity of the heart. Measuring the activity of the heart. Alright. So there are three ways of measuring the activity of the heart. First, you can measure your pulse rate. The pulse rate can be measured. One, you must know it is in your radial artery. You know, you keep your hands at your radial artery, which is near your wrist. Okay, with your two fingers. Always use the fingers for the index finger and the middle finger. Use that. Okay, and you make a grip. Okay, your thumb should be on the lower part of your wrist. Okay, and your finger should be on the top part of your wrist. Okay, you do not use a thumb to take the pulse because your thumb has a beat of its own. Okay, so it can get picked up. Okay, so you use your two fingers. So one is in your radial artery, that is in your wrist. Okay, other is your carotid artery. You must have seen doctors when they are checking, you know, if a person is alive or dead. Okay, so they usually keep two fingers on the carotid artery. It's in your neck. Okay, it's just right beside your jugular vein. You don't need to know the placement and all. Just know that there are two arteries where you can measure the pulse rate from. Carotid artery is in your neck. Second is by hearing to the heart sounds. You know, when doctors place stethoscope on your heart and they listen to the heart sounds. Okay, so a healthy heart produces lub dub sound. So lub sound is created by the closure of valves that is separating the atria from the ventricle. So lub sound is on the closure of atrioventricular valves. Okay, now you guys know what atrioventricular valves are. Okay, dub sound is on the closure of semilunar valves. Is this clear? Third is your ECG. It's electrocardiogram. Obviously, they place, you know, your leads on your heart, and then you guys have seen. Okay, it generates and a graph. Okay, that shows the activity of your heart. Is this clear? How will you measure the activity of the heart? Let's go. Clear?
Yes, miss.
What is the name of the second artery?
Second artery is carotid artery. CAROTID. Carotid. Okay, anyone else? Any questions? Yes. All clear? Okay. So next class, inshallah, we are gonna start from coronary heart disease. Okay. And then we're gonna talk about your possible causes of your coronary heart disease. Okay. Then we'll move on to your control of blood flow through the heart, that will just be what we have discussed already in the diagram. Then you will have treatment of coronary heart disease and blood and lymphatic vessels. It's a long chapter. Okay, today we spent some time on the heart, but it's good. I hope your concepts are clear. Okay, please revise this. And next week, inshallah, we are gonna start from your coronary heart disease. Okay, clear? Any questions, anyone?
No, ma'am.
Alright, that's great then. Then I will see you next week, inshallah. Then. Allah Hafiz.